Call 911 in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you could hear her screaming, right? You could hear it during my live shot real loud. And so I just said, you know what? I realize I'm with you guys. I'm on the air, but I can't let it go.
I'm Reese, and this is Back Porch News. The American Southeast has been rocked by Hurricane Helene. Making landfall Thursday, the storm has done untold damage and resulted in 40 deaths. While this is tragic, and while the people there will have to rebuild, there is one story that should be told. Fox News weather reporter Bob Van Dillen was on the air last weekend, and while he was live, this happened.
Steve, I know that we're swamped here with all the 911 calls because there's so many high water rescues that we've already documented so far. And call 911 in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you could hear her screaming, right? You could hear it during my live shot real loud. And that's her car right there. Windshield wipers are still on. So I just said, you know what? I realize I'm with you guys. I'm on the air, but I can't let it go. So I just... I dropped everything and I took my wallet out of my pants and I went in there, waded in about chest deep.
Don't be humble, my friend. I was not surprised at all when you took off your gear and on live television said, I've got to go do something.
Janice, you know how it is, and I was concerned at one that maybe there was a nice swift current, but the current really wasn't that bad. But the water temperature I was afraid with too. The water temperature is probably about 80, so all those things were working pretty nicely. Now that being said, the water came up to about my chest, and she was in there, and she was still strapped into her car, and the water was actually rising and getting up into the car itself. So she was about, almost neck deep submerged in her own car.
If you hadn't done that,
and she's on her phone with her husband.
What would have happened had you not gone in there? She would have drowned.
Well, it looks like it hasn't gotten that much. Yeah, I don't know. I told her, okay, undo your seatbelt, and she undid her seatbelt, and I said, let me have your phone, let me have your bags, and then put on my back, and then we walked in. So she's short. She's probably about this tall. So I put her on my back and just brought her in. She's fine. She was in shock. She was cold, shivering, so I gave her one of my shirts, and she was in our car just warming up. About 10 minutes later, the fire department came, saw that we were okay, and they went on to the next rescue, wherever they're going.
I know this is not the typical things we cover on this channel, but this is such a great story that I really felt it needed more attention. The fact of the matter is we all need each other, and this is a great example of that. So until next time, take care of one another.